A reading from the Gospel according to Matthew. And Jesus said, "Keep awake, therefore, for you do not know on what day your Lord is coming. But understand this, if the owner of the house had known in what part of the night the thief was coming, he would have stayed awake. It would not have let his house be broken into. Therefore you also must be ready, for the Son of Man is coming at an unexpected hour. Who then is the faithful and wise slave whom his master has put in charge of his household, to give the other slaves their allowance of food at the proper time? Blessed is that slave whom his master will find at work when he arrives. Truly, I tell you, he will put that one in charge of all his possessions." The word of the Lord. Our saint this day in our season of saints is Theodore of Tarsus. Tarsus, that same place where we get the Apostle Paul from. Theodore was the Archbishop of Canterbury in the late 600s, and he came to be the Archbishop of Canterbury at a crucial time in the life of the church in the British Isles. This was a time in which you had Celtic Christianity forming up in the north and in the western parts, and you had coming from Rome, sort of Roman Christianity, as it were, coming from the south and the eastern parts of the church. And up in that island there that we come to know as England, there was quite a back and forth, quite a mixture of what would Christianity look like at this time? Nobody was really quite sure. And there was an Archbishop of Canterbury who died. And they sent a new person to the Pope, to Rome, to go and be made the new Archbishop of Canterbury. And he died. He died on the way there. And so the Pope, just maybe seemingly on a whim, the Pope picked Theodore and said, "You will be the Archbishop of Canterbury now. Go to this land and manage things, set things straight." And so Theodore did, and maybe to everyone's surprise, when Theodore got there, he turned out to be just the person they needed in this land. He took what was a disorganized mess of Christian congregations and gatherings all over the place, and he organized maybe the first bits of what we now think of as an organized Church of England, with all of its dioceses and its bishops and its structures. And it's not perfect. None of our systems are perfect. But Theodore brought order out of chaos in a time that nobody was expecting it, because Theodore wasn't even supposed to be the Archbishop of Canterbury. As I think about what we can learn from his example, has there ever been a time in your life where you weren't supposed to be the person that was in charge of something and then suddenly found yourself with all the responsibility and all the authority? Has there ever been a time when you've been trying to follow someone else and then all of a sudden there was a change in leadership and there was a new person that you were supposed to be following and trusting? Sometimes we are faced with unexpected changes in leadership. Sometimes we are faced with opportunities where suddenly we are supposed to be the decision makers and we didn't expect it. In the midst of this time when Theodore maybe could have run away and nobody could have blamed him, God led Theodore where he needed to be. God gave Theodore the wisdom and the strength that he needed to be present to a people who needed him in this time. He accomplished some tremendous things, far beyond what anybody expected him to do. It can only be but through the strength of God, through the inspiration and the consolation and the power of God. And so as we in our own lives are trying to navigate what sometimes may seem like a chaotic world, and we may suddenly find ourselves either being led or leading in ways that we didn't expect, let's look for where God is at work in it. Let's look for where God is leading us and teaching us, strengthening us and comforting us. We can follow the example of Theodore of Tarsus and realize that amazing things are possible even from unexpected places when God is at work. Amen.